Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Ang gulo po ng background natin, but I'm going to be taking us on a tour of where I grew up, basically. So I grew up over here, right in this house, and we still own the place. And I've got a lot of fond memories there. My first ever room that I had to myself was there, and it was also used as a storage room. But I did also get my first desktop CPU there, where I played games like Flife, Rakion, Dota 1 before it was popular. This house, this house, I've always had memories of this house. My father actually had a lot of people who worked for him, and they stayed at this house, and that's where they stayed. My father rented out that house, and they stayed there, and they did work there with him, like making frames and whatnot. And it was pretty good. It was pretty good, but right now, as you can see, it's abandoned. Anyway, moving along. A friend of mine used to live right here. Ang dami kong alam, ang dami kong... I used to be running around through this subdivision with a samurai sword. Like, I stole my uncle's samurai sword at one point, and you know how ninjas would run, like with the arms back like that? I would do that. And I'd run with a ninja, like with the sword like a ninja. Like, samurais don't really run that way. Like, even in video games, I notice. So, we'd all meet up at each other's places. Usually, it would be me going out to meet them, and I'd be riding my BMX. Gosh, this place has changed a lot. Like, there never used to be parking over here. This used to be just a sunken sort of lot, and then that's where everyone would play. There's volleyball. Check this out. There's a volleyball court right here. See? And it's funny because I have a scar on my arm that I got playing volleyball. It's somewhere over there. I don't know if the camera can focus on it, but it's there. Believe me, it's there. See that line right there? That line is the line that shows, like, this used to be just this, and then they constructed this, and they put cement over here, and so it leads into the court over there. And these swings, they've never changed. You can tell that those chains are very durable because they haven't... I know those are the same chains because they didn't change the paint on it. And the paint on the swing set itself is the same. This place, the court, used to be sunken. Now, it would flood in the court. So, a lot of the times, you could find, like, you know how mosquitoes like to lay their eggs in... It's like, what's this? Like pond water that's not moving. Well, that would happen in this court a lot, right here, just right here. But it's not sunken anymore. They actually cemented it all the way up here. It was around maybe 4 feet sunken. Here is one of my favorite streets ever since my childhood. It's Walnut. Just Walnut, this place, because this is where my friends and I would meet all the time. This over here, that's a friend of mine. I'm not gonna say his name because you might not. It was really fun. Like, we would all meet out here. We'd play bangsak. For those of you guys who don't know, bangsak is a game where it's like there's a cop and there's like thieves. Right? I'm just gonna say it like that because we didn't really play it like that, but the goal of the cop was to find the people hiding, while the goal of the thieves were to stab the guy who was trying to find them. So it was sort of like a stealthy kind of situation in a way, and we had a lot of fun with it. There's also this other game, Agaw Base. There were opposing poles. Like, for street signs and whatnot, we'd use street signs or whatever, and we'd call that our base. Now, the goal of each other's team was to steal the base. And to steal the base, you had to basically touch the pole of the opponent while there are people guarding that, and they could, like, hold you captive for a while. And that was the game. That was actually one of the first games I ever played with my friends in this subdivision when I met them. Right here, I used to ride the BMX a lot, and my BMX would break down every now and then. And there was one time when I was really rushing to get through here. I was making this corner right over here, and I rushed in, and I didn't notice this hump. But when I went over the hump, my chain derailed, and I was like standing on the bike at the time, and when I pushed down on my pedal, my whole leg gave in. It just went straight through, and my knee was on the ground. Now, I wasn't maintaining my bike at the time because I didn't know how. So I didn't have any brakes. So I made 3 consecutive circles, getting smaller of course, 3 circles around before I stopped. And when I looked down on my knee, it was bloody like you wouldn't believe. Anyway, moving forward, this house over here, crush ko yan dati. I don't know, I'm trying to establish a connection with my childhood friends, but it's hard. I don't know. I'm not really that much of a social person. I guess I just sort of keep to myself in a lot of ways. But I guess that's just the way I am. I don't know. That's not a bad... I don't think it's a good trait, but I don't think it's a bad trait as well, because a lot of people get involved in other people's lives and it becomes a whole negative thing that it just turns out to be a mess. My first game of Agaw base was here by that pole and that pole right there. So all of that was there before this house was here. And look at this house, it's beautiful. There's so much, what do you call these, bonsais. That takes a lot of maintenance actually. Just like the most delicious barbecue ever. Like you could see him roasting every night, and you could just buy barbecue straight from here. You didn't have to go out of the subdivision or anything like that. All you had to do was just come to this street. If this is walnut, this is hemlock, I believe. This is hemlock. No, this is almond. No, hemlock, almond. I'm not sure. Anyway, it was right here in that corner over there. I used to be able to get barbecue there. When you grow up in a subdivision like this, you get to know a lot of people over the years. It was pretty cool. There's some people that are taking photos over here. Everybody's like tired of the COVID situation. I actually let a fire up over here, and I'll be playing with the fire. I was kind of like a pyromaniac, but that doesn't compare with how my uncle and my brother were back in their day. I'm not that old, they're not that old either. I'm just saying, look at that. Look at the grate. It's made of PVC pipes. The intuitive Filipino is amazing, I swear. What else? This store was here all the time. We used to buy RC here for like 25 pesos, 30 pesos. You get a liter of RC Cola. RC Cola was like, it was like the root beer kind of Coke. It was like the Sarsi of our day. I mean, it's still popular now, and I think it goes for around the same price. But that's where we used to like chill out after. Nangangaroling kami dati. We used to do caroling in the subdivision to get money to buy RC. And that was it. That was fun. That was all the fun we needed, to be honest. And if we were happy, that was all that was important. Right over here, I used to own a BB gun, and it was one of those electric ones that were automatic, that you could charge up, load it up with a lot of BBs and shoot. It was a pellet gun, but it was a glorified pellet gun. We used to line up bottles right here. We used to do a lot of things. There used to be a tree right here that you could climb also. Like a lot of my friends would climb trees in the subdivision when we would play that game, Bangsak. And meanwhile, other people were hiding in the trees and whatnot, and the cop was trying to take them out. Another person would actually hide just close by to the tree, so that that person could sack the other guy, could sack the cop. So the game would restart. I had a lot of crushes in this subdivision, like a lot of them, a lot of childhood crushes. Like sometimes like I don't even know why I would have crushes on these people, but I just thought they looked pretty. And I don't know. Look, that's a kite. You never see that nowadays. Oh, that was also the. I don't know if she still lives there, pero I think she does. That's the same car. Pero ano, crush ko yun dati. Yung nakatira dyan, the girl. It's funny because both of them have like the same name-ish. Oh my god, Dalmatian, so cute. Look at that. I rarely see Dalmatians, like ever. This house right here would have like 2, 3 dogs just outside, and they would bark at you and they'd chase you down if you came close. So what I would do is I would always have a stick with me, like a long stick. That was like, I think that was the weapon of choice for my entire childhood, was a stick, because you could find it anywhere. It's long enough to reach the dogs before they can reach you. And a lot of my friends would play, you know, we'd do stick fights. Like we'd fight each other with sticks. Like we'd be we'd be doing weird things. Like you know, you power up your attack and you attack them. And like there's one time, a friend of mine actually peed on me, dude. From a he peed on me from a what do you call, from a slide. I didn't see it. I was like, oh, it's just wet all over me. And I was like, what's happening? And I look up and I see him peeing on me. And I'm like, dude. So I left. I just like, I went home. I didn't know how to react to it. I was devastated. That was the thing of my childhood, like creating a kite and flying it. And that was just fun, you know, especially on a windy day. That was just fun. Like you didn't have to run too far to get some wind. Sometimes you didn't even have to run at all. You just had to sort of walk and drag it along and it would start flying upwards. I've been on a long walk. This is 20 minutes. There's a lot more though. There's so much more about this subdivision. Really? Am I gonna make this a 20-minute long video? No, I'm gonna make this like a 10-minute long video and just cut it up into a series. You know what? I'll go to the next street and then I'll meet you back there.